Hey, what's up you guys? It's Zach with PCBros, and today we are going back to the budget gaming PCs, and I'm going to show you how to build a high refresh rate 1080p gaming PC for about $800 here in 2025. So let's get right into it. Starting off the specs, we are rocking the Intel i5-12400F with 6 cores and 12 threads. This pretty powerful budget CPU runs around $110 and is still pretty available even despite everything going on right now, so making it a great option for this PC, and it matches nicely with the GPU we got coming up next. And for the GPU, we are rocking the RX 6700 XT with 12 gigs of GDDR6 VRAM. This is the Sapphire Plus, and we had to get this one on eBay because it's kind of hard to find this one not used. And for the motherboard, we are rocking the ASRock B760M Pro RS. This is getting us to that DDR5. This motherboard's pretty simple, not too expensive, and has everything we need with storage upgrade potentials in the future. For the storage, we chose 1 terabyte of Gen 4 NVMe SSD. At this point, we're preaching this pretty heavily with all the games, especially the games that I'm benchmarking, that a terabyte is the minimum you'd probably want to go if you want to play a lot of AAA titles. At this point, storage is still relatively affordable. Now, when building PCs like this for videos and trying to get it to a certain price point, we usually just go with that terabyte because we know it will keep us within the budget. But if you have a little bit more room, going to 2 terabytes or getting 2 1 terabytes. And that is something that I would definitely consider today. And of course, we had to go with 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM. This RAM is 6000 megahertz, and we have 2 sticks of 16 here. This is the G.Skill Trident Z5 Neo. This is some really nice looking and feeling RAM. Feels very high quality, has more of this metal feel to it, and it has RGB, a tasteful amount in my opinion, and it's just really good. 32 is going to be what's really going to be pushing the system on some more demanding games. And to cool the CPU, we have the ID Cooling SE214XT. This is an ARGB tower cooler, and we use this one quite a bit because it is so cheap and easy to use for budget PCs, and it still keeps everything nice and cool. So if you were looking for a different cooling solution and water cooling might be a little out of the budget, this tower cooler you can get around $20 and really does a good job. And for the power supply, we are rocking the Sigotep 650 watt 80 plus gold. This is not modular, so we will have a lot of cables that we aren't using. That's why we're making sure the case that we chose has plenty of room in that basement so we don't have a cable management nightmare, but this should be plenty of power for our build. And for the case, we are rocking the Thermaltake View 170 TG. This is an ARGB case. It does come with the fans, and it looks really stylish. We usually just keep with this kind of style, the $50 to $60 cases in this price range. You can't really go wrong. There is one other thing that you're going to need for this build to make sure all the fans in the ARGB works correctly. You're going to need some sort of ARGB hub or splitter. I used a splitter in this case. They are cheaper as well. I'll have some links down below for all these specs if you are interested in checking it out. Just keep in mind that parts can be hard to get right now, but if you're not too interested in taking a risk finding all the parts in this market, you can find this exact same PC on PCBros.tech. Well, you'll have this PC shipped right to you, built, drivers and Windows installed, ready to play. So a plug and play system with a 1-year full parts and labor warranty. And we have plenty of other options on PCBros.tech as well. If you're looking for a great gaming PC and struggling to find the parts, or not too interested in building one yourself, we have plenty of great options there. But with that being said, let's get right into this build. All right, now we are in the benchmark section, and we are starting it off playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, and this is the new Call of Duty Zombies map. We are rocking balance settings in 1080p. This is a little under what you could do. We're getting right around 180, 200 frames. This is very nice for high refresh rate gaming. I still think balance settings looks pretty solid with this game, so if you don't really care about cranking up those graphics and you just want killer performance, I would always try balance settings first on these budget PCs before cranking it up. But as you can see, you can easily crank it up here in this game. I played about 15 to 20 minutes of this new Zombies map, and I thought it still looked really good. Going with a really high refresh rate monitor is something that I would really recommend when building this PC to really get the maximum smoothness and performance out of this PC. As you'll see later in the benchmarks, when we're cranking up different games and higher settings, you'll see that this PC can handle high settings and still have an enjoyable experience. Next up, we got Black Myth Wukong on very high settings, and this is where we are cranking it up a little bit. This is still 1080p, and we are getting about 60 to 70 FPS. It looks really good. Although you're not getting that high refresh rate gaming, you can still have enjoyable experiences in this range on single player games is what I would recommend. As you can see, when we change it down to medium settings, we go right back up to that high refresh rate point, and honestly still doesn't look too bad. So it really depends on what kind of gaming you want to be doing. This PC can handle both on these really demanding titles. If you want to go more high refresh rate, lower settings, or if you want to go higher settings on the single player to get those visuals, definitely you can do both with this PC. And to finish off the benchmark section, we are going ultra settings on Cyberpunk 2077 in 1080p. We are still getting over 100 FPS here, and this is pretty impressive because this is a pretty demanding game. Although it is older, we still like to benchmark it because it is still holding true and pushing GPUs to this day. But this should be a good showcase on how powerful this combo can be. And for about $800, assuming you can still get all the parts, this PC is very good, and I would definitely recommend trying to snag some of those parts on good deals or find good used deals on eBay when building this PC. Thank you all so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below what other video games would you like to see me benchmark on these build guides. Preferably one with an auto benchmark so we can keep consistent results throughout the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.